What's up, New York? This is Gia Peppers. We are so excited to present the 2017 Voter Guide for the Borough of the Bronx, brought to you by NYC Votes and the New York City Campaign Finance Board. The general election will be held Tuesday, November 7th. Our goal is to empower you, the voter, to make informed choices when you go to the polls. This program gives you the opportunity to see which candidates will make a difference on the issues you care about. We can't always control what happens nationally, but with our vote, we can definitely have a say about what happens in our neighborhoods and in our city. Local elections can determine everything from the quality of our schools to the cost of living. Before you cast a ballot, don't you want to know more about the candidates and how city government can impact your life? In a moment, we are going to introduce the candidates running for Bronx Borough President. But first, let's find out some of the issues Bronx residents care about. Tell me why it's important for you to vote in the local elections this year.
Well, I feel you have to hold the people that are closest to you more responsible because they have more of an impact on your life, a more impact on your neighborhood and your environment. I grew up in the Bronx, so growing up there, it was just profiling. So I feel that if local officials can stop police from profiling, especially in minorities, whether it's the South Bronx, North Bronx, I represent the Bronx. So regardless of where I am, I pastor in the Bronx. So I feel that I got stopped right across the street from my church. So it impacts me a lot. So I don't want to be profiled, or I don't want people that look like me or people that are a little lighter, a little darker than me. I don't want us profiled. I just want us to be like normal citizens.
So tell me a little bit about your concerns with having a healthier lifestyle as a New Yorker.
So I live in the Bronx, and the Bronx is known for having high rates of diabetes, asthma, heart disease, that kind of stuff. And I know that in areas where I used to live in, you have a lot of fast food, you have a lot of just areas that don't have fresh markets that have fresh food for families. So I feel like we need to be able to invest in these communities to make sure that they don't have those health issues, because if you go around Manhattan or other wealthier areas, they don't have that issue. They have a lot of selections. But in the Bronx or in Brooklyn or Queens, you have such high poverty rates, and they don't have access to fresh food. And I feel like we really need to address that issue. It's important to vote because we need to restore democracy. If there are issues that you care about, you need to make sure that people who are in office are people who are representing your interests. So it makes no sense to care about these issues but not elect people who are going to represent you in your community. And then the question is, again, how is MTA a public transportation if half the public can't even access it? Because either they have issues with delays, so you have people who are losing their jobs or can't take their kids to childcare because of delays. You have a lot of people who can't even afford a $275. There were times on the weekend where I could not go to tutoring because I did not have enough money to pay for the fare. And so it basically puts a hold on many lives who want to succeed.
So tell me about your issues, the concerns that you really, really want to change as a New Yorker when you vote in the local elections this year.
Well, one of them is quality education. My daughter attends a school in the community, and we actually had to advocate for additional funding because the children, they had to share books at one time, or they just weren't ordering enough books. We're doing a lot of construction in my community, and unfortunately, with the high unemployment, they're not hiring people in the community to actually do this construction work that's being done in the community.
Voting is one of the most important ways we can embrace the opportunity to participate and show we care about our city's future. So make sure you vote for the candidate who best represents your interests and concerns. The borough president is the chief executive and advocate of each borough, making recommendations on budget priorities and capital projects, also reviewing land use decisions. Here are the candidates running for Bronx Borough President.
None of the candidates running for this office recorded a video. So let's move on.
Participating in local elections makes a difference in our everyday lives. From jobs to schools to housing, your city council member can have a big impact on these issues. The city council is the legislative branch of New York City's government, responsible for passing local laws, making decisions about land use, investigating and overseeing city agencies, and approving the city's budget. Let's meet the candidates for the Bronx City Council.
I am Andrew Cohen, and I am running for re-election to the New York City Council. In my first term, I was able to accomplish quite a bit, but there is much more to do. I have really focused on quality of life issues in the district, such as additional stop signs, traffic lights, and more trash pickups. Constituent service has been a top priority, and over 2,000 people have visited my district office, with a multiple of that calling or emailing. Over the last 3.5 years, I was able to help people with problems large and small. From complicated housing and immigration issues to potholes and noise, people have received the services that they need and expect. I've had great success at City Hall. Each of the last 4 city budgets has contained millions of dollars for our schools, parks, roads, city hospitals, and local organizations. Providing schools with updated technology has been a consistent victory in the budget. I have passed over a dozen pieces of legislation, including a resolution condemning the boycott, divest, and sanction Israel movement. As the chair of the Council's Committee on Mental Health, Substance Abuse, and Developmental Disabilities, I have been dealing with some of the most serious issues facing our city. When I first ran for the City Council, I promised to represent every corner of the district, and that is exactly what I have done. Whether there is an addition on PS 19 for Woodlawn, a new playground in Wakefield, a skate park in Norwood, or millions of dollars for Van Cortlandt Park, I have kept my promise by meeting the needs of each neighborhood. Thank you very much.
The candidates running for this office did not record a video. So let's move on.
My name is John Cerini, and I'm running for New York City Councilman of the 13th District of the Bronx. I was born and raised in our district and a product of the New York City Public Schools. I am the father of 4 children and husband to my beautiful wife of 23 years, business owner for over 20 years, homeowner, and community activist. As an accountant, an enrolled agent, insurance and real estate broker, I will bring my life and business experience to City Hall and represent our district with dignity and pride. I know your concerns and issues. As a homeowner, I know the struggles we have with real estate and water and sewer taxes. As an accountant, I see firsthand what we as New York City residents must go through each year with our income taxes. The tax increases must stop. We are one of few cities in America that pay a local tax. Our district is continuously neglected when it comes to police. As we are one of the safest neighborhoods, we do not get our fair share of police. Our district is very large with crime and drugs on the rise. Enough is enough. We need more police. Our district is being crushed because of overdeveloping from unscrupulous developers who are only interested in making profits. Our local schools are bursting at the seams because of overdeveloping and city regulations such as No Child Left Behind. Our neighborhoods are running out of parking. The contractors must be stopped and held accountable to keep the standard of living in our community to a level we deserve. We are in this together. Let me be your voice in City Hall. Thank you. God bless the Bronx, New York City, and the United States of America.
Hi, my name's John Doyle. I'm a lifelong Democrat who was born and raised in the 13th District. I live and work in the district. This area is my home, always has been. And I'll keep fighting to improve our neighborhoods just like I have for the past decade. Our communities are some of the strongest in New York City. Our people are hardworking. Our kids go off to some of the best schools in the nation. Our waterfront is beautiful, and we host the largest park in the entire city, as well as Pelham Parkway, both Bronx treasures. That said, we face real challenges in the years ahead, and we need a government and a representative at City Hall that are up to those challenges. I've worked in the political sector. I've worked for the New York City Public Hospital System, and I've been a community advocate and activist tackling some of our biggest problems, including reducing gun violence, securing safety improvements for our parks, and fighting the blight left behind by the foreclosure crisis. I've delivered for our neighborhoods, from obtaining temporary air monitors for the Throgs Neck Bridge, closing nightlife nuisances in Pelham Bay, securing the first bank in Van Nest in 30 years, preserving trees along Pelham Parkway, and fighting for an appropriate bridge and city services on City Island. My record speaks for itself. My experience tells me the biggest culture we need to change is the culture of no. In the council, I'll fight the bureaucracy and developers who don't care about our neighborhoods and fight for what we need: stronger schools, better transportation options, stopping out-of-control development, helping our mom and pop stay in our communities, and safer streets. I see all sides of a problem. I know what government can do, and I know what we must fight as a community to push them to do to keep our neighborhoods strong. I may not be your typical politician, and maybe that's a good thing. My campaign is powered by hundreds of the very people I want to represent. They know me, they know my record, and they're not big-pocketed special interests who aren't interested in helping our community. My name is John Doyle, and I will fight for you, not them, by putting the community first.
Hello, I'm Joe Knight. I'm a New York State Assemblyman from the Bronx, and I'm running for the 13th City Council District because I care about you and our neighborhoods. I was born and raised in the Bronx, where my wife Roberta and I chose to raise our two sons, Nicholas and Joseph. My parents were immigrants who came to this country with a 5th grade education. For decades, they were porters at Jacobi Hospital and proud members of DC 37. My parents made sure that we took every opportunity to give back to this city and the country that gave our family so much. I am proud that during my time in the Assembly, we increased funding toward public education, made it more affordable for tenants and homeowners to live in this great city, and invested in programs that help address opioid addiction. I'm running for Councilman of the 13th City Council District to bring the same work ethic, compassion, and effectiveness that my parents taught me to City Hall. I care about you, our neighborhoods, and our community. I'm committed to improving your quality of life, to making sure that you can afford to keep living in your home, and to improving our borough's safety, education, and transportation options. Thank you, and remember, Joe Knight cares.
Hi, I'm Marjorie Velasquez, and I'm running to be your next City Council member. I'm a proud Democrat and have twice been elected to serve as female Democratic District Leader for my Assembly District. I am Treasurer for Community Board 10 and co-founder of Bronx Women United, which gets more women involved in politics and public service. My parents came here from Puerto Rico and worked hard and built a small business. Growing up in the Bronx, they made sure my brothers and sister and I had a great education so we can have better opportunities and get good jobs. I became an accountant. I love working with numbers, and I hope to bring my accounting background to City Hall to cut waste and make sure our taxes are spent wisely. I understand the struggles working families face. After 2 serious accidents in 2012, I was unable to work and saw the costs and shortcomings of our healthcare system. It inspired me to get back involved in our community, joining my community board, volunteering with local nonprofits, and serving as Democratic District Leader. We all know the issues our community is facing. We need more classroom seats and better schools. We need better mass transit, like more express and select bus service, increased ferry access and lower fares for seniors and working families. We need to help our small business owners who are being squeezed out by high rents and predatory ticketing. I am Marjorie Velasquez. I'm a proud Democrat, and I'm asking for your support in the Democratic primary, so together we can fix our schools, improve our transit, support small businesses, and give our seniors the safety and services they deserve. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Randy Abreu. I'm a progressive Democrat, and I'm running to be your city council member. My roots in the Bronx are strong. I was born and raised here, went to public schools here, and I love the Bronx. But I know we deserve better than what we're getting today. We need good public schools and better funding to lift young people up and out of poverty, especially in science, engineering, and technology. We need creative after-school programs and fresh, new ideas to give all kids a chance to have good-paying jobs and careers. While other parts of our city are booming, the Bronx continues to receive the short end of the stick. As councilman, I'll demand local hiring requirements for all city-funded projects, invest in small businesses, and expand job training for our future, starting with the opportunities presented by the Kingsbridge Armory development. I want to give our community the benefits we deserve. And with too many families struggling with the high cost of housing, I'll fight for rent freezes, more money for NYCHA, and tougher laws to stop landlord harassment. We need better paying jobs, schools with 21st century resources, more affordable housing, and safe streets. I was born and raised on Fordham Road, worked as an attorney in the U.S. Congress and for President Obama. I have the commitment and experience it takes to get the job done. I'm running for city council because I believe in the Bronx. I believe in our families. And with your vote, I know our best days are yet to come.
In the next 4 years, I will focus on 5 main issues which I passionately want to continue to improve in our district. I will increase funding for more safety cameras and expand the Cure Violence initiative I sponsor citywide. Also, having provided funding to create and improve basketball courts, soccer fields, playgrounds, tennis courts, and handball courts in our parks, I want to continue upgrading our parks to be intergenerational. Thirdly, I was successful in keeping all senior centers open during the recession, and I will continue to consistently allocate funding for programming in senior centers and for senior group tours. Fourthly, having now passed the Tenant Bill of Rights and provided funds to grassroots affordable housing advocacy efforts, I will focus on affordable and low-income housing with the rezoning of Jerome Avenue. And last, I will focus on improving our public school. I funded over $14.5 million to fix many of our schools' auditoriums, technology, gym, pool, and facility to help our children succeed in schools. I passed the school environmental bill requiring reporting to parents and students of any toxins found in school. In the area of higher education, I secured funding for infrastructure repairs and campus-wide utility upgrades at Bronx Community College and Hostels Community College. With your vote of confidence, I will continue to prepare our youth for a successful and productive future. Thank you so much for your support.
I'm Justin Sanchez, and I'm running for New York City Council, District 14 in the Bronx. Let me tell you about myself. I was born and raised here. I grew up poor to a single mother. Sometimes when I was a kid, we slept on park benches. My grandmother, Carmen, raised me. I graduated from the Bronx High School of Science, but put my college degree on hold because of student debt. I've worked server jobs to pay the bills. Still, I knocked on my first door during an election when I was 15. I always go to community board meetings, and last year, I was the Working Families Party recruitment director for their campaigns. But this campaign is not about me. This campaign is about fighting for truly affordable housing that helps us, and not the rich developers or people that may live here tomorrow. This campaign is about fighting for more well-paying jobs in the district that are unionized and advertised to us. This campaign is about making sure that the NYPD understands that they work for us and with us, and that, yes, they will be held accountable. This campaign is about you, and collectively building our political power together for today and tomorrow. On day one, we will create a community engagement task force that will knock on your door every year about the issues in the community and how you can help. We will finally join the New York City Participatory Budgeting Program so you can vote on where our money should go in the neighborhood. We will hold organizing meetings in your apartment lobby so we can strategize and mobilize our neighbors. And I will publicly detail why I voted for each and every bill so that you can hold me accountable. So please, I'm asking for you to vote for me in the general election on November 7th. When we fight together, we win together. Thank you for watching.
Greetings, my name is Jason Cancel, and I am currently running for City Council Bronx District 15. Why am I running? Being born and raised by a single father in the Bronx, New York, I see and personally know the struggle all the people in my community are facing. Truly having no one to turn to or understand them, I look to be that voice of the people so they can have their voices finally be heard. I see the lack of regard or care from our current and previous administrations, and no more can and will be done if I am elected to the council seat I am seeking. I am looking to get to the core of the issues and problems our city is currently facing and not just use Band-Aid tactics, as I like to call them, like others are doing and constantly suggesting. I am looking to completely change and hopefully fix the current kerfuffle our current political landscape, parties, and government are facing, but to do this, I need your support. I need your backing so I can tackle these obstacles with enough strength so that we can truly make the changes we all know need to be done. So please, on November and on Election Day, vote Jason Cancel for City Council so we can finally get a real committed, effective, and knowledgeable person in office. Because J can for you, let's cancel our negative future.
Hi, I'm Councilmember Richie Torres. Since you elected me 4 years ago, our city and our nation have seen major challenges. But together, we're working to create a better Bronx. I was raised in public housing right here in the Bronx. Despite all the challenges my family had to face, having a home gave us stability. As chair of the City Council's Public Housing Committee, I have fought on behalf of NYCHA residents who deserve the same stability that I had growing up. In my time as chair, I secured $1.3 billion for new roofs, and I have demanded more accountability from NYCHA to fix the chronic problems that families deal with every day. We delivered $600 million for new affordable housing, and I supported the rent freeze for rent-stabilized tenants. Growing up with a single mother working a minimum wage job, I know how tough it can be to make ends meet. That's why I am proud to have passed numerous laws protecting tenants from predatory landlords, protecting low-income workers from unfair working conditions and schedules, while also fighting to reform a criminal justice system that unjustly targets young people of color. My Bronx public education gave me tremendous opportunities in life, but I'm acutely aware of the educational inequities across the city. Every child has a right to a quality education to prepare them for their life and career. I'm proud to say that we've delivered record levels of funding and will bring air conditioning to all schools within 5 years, creating a better learning environment. I promise to continue to do the hard work in order to build a better Bronx. It has been an honor to be your council member, and I hope to have your vote again on November 7th.
My name is Vanessa Gibson, and I have been a Democrat representing our community in the New York City Council for the last 4 years. It has been an honor to represent the Bronx, and working together with residents, advocates, unions, community, religious, and business leaders, I have a track record of success and know the priorities that are important to you. I know that housing is a right and not a luxury, and I have strongly advocated for incentives to promote affordable housing for our community. I am the prime sponsor of Intro 214, the right to counsel legislation that will provide free legal representation in eviction proceedings in housing court. I have also successfully advocated for a rent freeze the last 2 years for rent-regulated tenants, and am currently leading the discussion on the Jerome Neighborhood Rezoning Plan in the Bronx for housing preservation and development in our community. I have proudly sponsored the Student Safety Act, which is now local law and addresses breaking down the pipeline to prison to treat all students equally with dignity and respect. Education is the gateway to the future and will allow our youth to be the successful leaders they deserve to be. I have led efforts with council members to create the first ever Office to Prevent Gun Violence in New York City to bring additional resources to our communities. I have led efforts to support more funding for seniors and additional slots to the Summer Youth Employment Program and the City Council's first ever all-year-round youth employment program to bring jobs to our communities for youth. Please support me, Vanessa Gibson, for the City Council in the 16th District and urging you to vote on Election Day.
Before I introduce myself, let me ask you the following questions about the South Bronx. Are you satisfied with the quality of life in the South Bronx? Do you feel that the South Bronx can improve and be better as a thriving community and blissful neighborhood? Do you feel that the South Bronx could and should offer you more in terms of employment opportunities, public safety, economic empowerment, educational access and affordability, fair housing, home ownership, business ownership, quality health care, social services, better sanitation and postal services, healthier food options, cleaner and greener parks, and fair legal treatment and counsel in family, criminal, housing, and civil courts? If you answered yes to the above questions, then vote for me, Patrick DeLisas, and stop settling for less. Vote for a candidate that can effectively identify the problems and provide solution to those problems that afflict the residents of the South Bronx. As the people's politician and a rational Republican, I will fix the problems that continue to plague the South Bronx. The South Bronx has great potential for economic growth. Yet, in comparison to other boroughs, it is neglected as crime and poverty persists, while the quality of life in District 17 becomes progressively worse. Let's build a better and safer South Bronx by stimulating economic development, reducing crime, and improving our quality of life. This is not about party affiliation. This is about who has the best qualifications to get the job done. And I am the candidate who has the best qualification and who will get the job done. Therefore, if you want to build a better and safer South Bronx, vote for Patrick DeLisas as your next New York City Councilman for District 17. Please visit my website at www.voteforpatrickdelisas.com. Thank you.
Hi, this is New York City Council member Rafael Salamanca Jr. Since I took office a year and a half ago, it's been a true honor to not only represent, but to deliver for the communities in the South Bronx. As your voice at City Hall, I'm fighting every day for the resources I know the residents of the South Bronx need and deserve. That's why, since taking office, I've secured over $30 million for capital projects as well as much-needed programming. Since joining the council, I've wasted no time working to create affordable housing for the district, and my work has paid off. So much so that my colleagues named me the chair of the committee primarily responsible for the creation of affordable housing. To date, I've created or preserved over 3,500 units of affordable housing for our community, and I intend to continue the fight for quality housing for all. And last but not least, I am very focused on making sure that we're working together to improve our schools. That includes creating access to additional pre-K seats, bringing air conditioning into all classrooms, and funding youth summer jobs when school is out. To me, working to build a stronger South Bronx is personal, and like many of you, I'm raising my kids right here in the community I myself grew up in. While the South Bronx has faced some tough times, our future is looking bright, and we need to continue to work together to create greater opportunities for us. As your council member, I believe I've helped to make real progress for our community, but we cannot stop now with so much more work to do. It is why I, Rafael Salamanca Jr., am asking for your support and vote to continue to serve you as a member of the New York City Council from the 17th District. Thank you.
I'm from the South Bronx, born and raised in East Morris Sinai, and I know personally the struggles we face in this part of the city. The South Bronx is filled with an array of talent and vision, but unfortunately, due to low job opportunities, the Bronx is only making the bare minimum in terms of household incomes. Families are making $27,000 or less yearly and can barely meet their day-to-day needs in a city as expensive as ours. That is why I believe creating jobs and opportunities will help grow a thriving middle class in which families of the Bronx can live with dignity. I believe that safe and affordable housing is a basic human right. We are currently facing one of the biggest housing challenges while struggling to preserve the history of our neighborhoods. As your councilman, I promise to stand up to the real estate lobbies, demand for tax breaks, and end loopholes that encourages evictions. I will fight to fund the creation of additional 60,000 low-income housing units in the Bronx while increasing funding for our public and affordable housing developments. If you elect me as your next council member, I will provide you with a world-class constituent service operation. I will fight in your corner to break through the obstacles many New Yorkers experience when encountering issues with city government. Anyone who seeks assistance from my office can expect a prompt and robust response. I'm a proud supporter of participatory budgeting, which encourages input from you, my neighbors. You can expect a regular town hall meeting in order to voice your concerns and support for various issues and policies. I plan to be the most accessible elected official in our city's history. Public service is my calling, and if elected, I will bring a new energy to our district and our city.
Hi, my name is Michael Belzer, and I'm a Democrat running to represent Bronx City Council District 18. As a father and a public servant, I have worked with residents to fix our communities, restore funding to our schools and parks, and ensure our voices are heard in government. I am running to fight for our fair share of city services and to make sure that we are able to stay in our homes. For too long, our peninsula has been underserved. Our buses and trains take too long. Our roads are crumbling, and our public institutions like schools and libraries need extensive work. This is due to a combination of a lack of respect by City Hall, leadership that is interested in serving itself and not the people, and a lack of information and resources for residents to truly become engaged and involved. But we can plan to do better. When I served on Community Board 9, I helped lead a community-based planning initiative that heard from hundreds of residents on their goals and dreams for our communities. I will continue to work with you to pass a comprehensive plan that addresses all of our needs: affordable housing, transportation, and infrastructure such as schools, senior and community centers, and parks to ensure our communities grow in a sustainable way that ensures that we can stay, get good pay, and that families do not have to worry about letting their children go out to play. So please, come out and vote. Michael Belzer, Tuesday, September 12th. Polls are open from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Thank you.
Hello, my name is William Russell Moore, and I'm running to be elected your next city councilman in District 18, which includes Parkchester, Shorehaven, Bronx River, Soundview, Castle Hill, Classic Point, and Harding Park. I am a stakeholder just like you in the Bronx that should be fiscally smart to produce a healthy borough where our rights to raise a healthy family, safeguard our schools, grow strong communities and businesses will not be sacrificed by greed or socioeconomic exploitation. My candidacy is to offer you leadership in the district on issues that concern you the most, and to work with you to resolve those issues timely. My goal is to save our community from our political subversion of our Bronx democracy, and to stand against any onslaught of police brutality, poverty, despair, homelessness, gentrification, unemployment, and the lack of high-income paying jobs. My long-term goal is to also build a multicultural center to serve as an economic engine for our district to create jobs and other opportunities. I will represent all voters in the New York City Council with fair vigor and passion on issues that concern them in our district and their cultural homelands abroad. I hope to be afforded an equal opportunity by our multi-ethnic communities to be the first Black council member to ever be elected to the 18th City Council District seat in 50 years. Again, my name is William Russell Moore, and I'm here to serve you. Thank you for listening.
Voting in local elections is how we can all make a difference on the issues that matter to our community, and it helps us make this city a better place to live and work. I'm proud to be a New Yorker, aren't you? Bronx, your vote makes a difference. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to vote in the general election on November 7th. NYC Votes is the voter engagement initiative of the NYC Campaign Finance Board. The Voter Guide is a nonpartisan resource produced by the CFB that provides New York City voters with information about candidates for local office. If you are a registered voter, you will receive the guide in the mail, and you can find it online at voting.nyc. All candidates for mayor, public advocate, comptroller, borough president, and city council were given the opportunity to record statements for this video guide. Candidates who chose not to record a statement will be listed on screen. In a few instances, candidates who appear here may have been removed from the ballot. You can check voting.nyc anytime for the latest up-to-date information. The candidate statements are their own, and all candidates have affirmed that their statements are true to the best of their knowledge. The CFB does not endorse any candidate for public office, and the views expressed in these candidate statements do not represent those of the CFB.